everybody, Christina here. Thank you so much for joining me. I am really excited to review this wig for you. This is a wig that I've had my eye on for quite some time, and when Uniwigs offered to send it to me to review, I did not hesitate. I was so excited when it came in the mail this week, and it has been just killing me knowing that it's sitting in the box, just waiting for me to get my hands into it. So let's do this. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's get into the details of this wig, shall we? This is Charlotte. It was sent over to me by my friends over at Uniwigs. This is now my third human hair wig that I have gotten from Uniwigs, and they continuously blow me away. I'm gonna go on record and say this is hands down my favorite piece I've ever gotten from them. But I have been on the hunt because I wear a lot of short platinum blonde synthetics. I've really been wanting to get a long, beachy, blonde kind of mermaid hair that I could take with me to the Hair Loss Sisterhood retreat that I'm attending in April. And this just fits the bill. It is so beautiful. I cannot put into words how much I love this color. But the color right here is 601R. This is called Champagne Luxe. It's described as icy blonde, beige blonde balayage with natural dark roots. So I love a good lived-in piece. I love rooted pieces. They're always going to be my jam. I feel like they just feel more me and feel a little bit more natural, and go a lot better with when I blend out my bio hair, which you can see is pretty good of a match on the rooting there. But the blonde is just so creamy and gorgeous. I am just loving this piece, loving it. Okay, so it's 100% Remy human hair. It has a lace front. So you can see the hairline on it is really great. There are some knots, so I will just say that there are a few things that I'm going to tweak on this wig to make it more my own, to make it a little bit more customized to me. One of the things that I'm going to do is I am just going to take a little bit of makeup to the knots right there. So I'm not a person that gets really self-conscious about knots on my wigs. And so they don't typically bother me all that much. So a little bit of powder or concealer can take care of those really easily. And I actually prefer that my knots are not bleached because I feel like the wigs just last a whole lot longer when the knots are not bleached. So I would rather address the knots with makeup and have my wig and my investment last a lot longer than to bleach the knots for the sake of just looks. So that's just my personal opinion. The length on this is 20 inches. However, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a very generous 20 inches. So I measured this from the crown to the longest pieces right here, and it came out to about 23 inches, which I would rather you give me some extra hair than to jip me. So that is perfectly fine to me. But you could definitely trim her, take her to your hairstylist or whoever you trust to touch your wigs and get it trimmed. If you want it a little bit shorter, you definitely have some room to play with, but this is straight out of the box. So this curl pattern is how it came. I have not touched it with any heat. It is just throw on and go, beautiful hair. The cap size on this particular one is 22 inches, but it does come in a 21-inch cap size as well. And the density on it is 150%. It's a French lace top. The base is 13 by 5, so you can part this and style this however your little heart desires. You have plenty of room to work with. So those are the specs on this. Let me see if I can't give you a 360 because I'm not in the right chair, but I can definitely let you see. I mean, come on, guys. It's so beautiful. How pretty is that? I'm in love with this wig. So here's what we're going to do. The only thing that I've done to modify this wig out of the box is I did cut the lace. So when you get this in, you are going to have a little flap of lace that you're going to need to trim back. I have seen, I don't know how many new wig wearers who are like, that wig is beautiful, but what the heck is going on with the thing flapping in your forehead? So if you are not familiar with lace top wigs, that is to be trimmed back. So don't ever let that scare you. from purchasing a wig, because those lace fronts are meant to be trimmed to the hairline to customize for you. So the other thing that I'm going to be working on is there is a very generous coverage area. So if you are somebody that glues your wig down or tapes it down, you have plenty of room to groove with that. You get tons of coverage with this wig. I personally do not ever glue or tape my wig down. I just simply use a wig grip. So what I am going to do is I'm going to probably trim this back just a little bit, because I do like to pull my bio hair out and just kind of blend that hairline seamlessly. So that is one of the modifications that I'm going to do. I don't even know that I really need to do anything to curl this. I might throw a couple of extra curls in it, but that is going to be it. So those are the modifications I plan on making with this particular wig. But let me go ahead and take it off and give you a look at the inside of this gorgeous wig. Okay, so you have the closed wefting in the back. It's super stretchy. You have a lot of room to groove. Has a very, very, very generous lace top. The lace is really soft. It's not itchy or hard at all. It's very soft lace, but look how much room you have to just style however you like. It does not have ear tabs, reinforced ear tabs. It has combs right here at the side. I typically take those combs and I just tuck them into my wig grip just for a little extra security. And then it has the comb at the nape as well. It has the hook extenders where you can either tighten or loosen the wig to make it fit perfectly with your hair. And that is pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work on customizing this a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. So first things first, I'm going to work on disguising the knots. So I flipped the cap of this wig inside out. I'm going underneath and I'm just dabbing my concealer along that part line. And then I'm going over that with setting powder. I'm doing this along the hairline as well to make sure that those knots are kind of disguised as well. Once I'm finished with the underneath of the cap, I'm going to go ahead and put this wig on, and then I'm going to work on the top of the cap with any knots that are still visible. I'm just taking a thin brush and I'm taking that concealer again and going through the part line and along the hairline over any knots that may still be showing. If you get a little bit of makeup on the hair, don't worry, it's not a big deal. I just take a little spoolie brush. You can even spray it with water, and I just kind of brush that makeup out of the hairline. I'm then taking that same brush and I am dipping it back in the setting powder and setting the areas where I've placed that concealer. Again, using the spoolie brush to just kind of comb out any makeup that may be showing up on the hairline. So now I'm going to work on customizing this hairline and trimming back where I have a little bit too much coverage hanging over my ears. I'm just clipping the hair back so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to pull it down to kind of gauge where I need to start trimming. Then I'm going to grab a sharp pair of scissors and I'm just going to trim away where it's hanging over my ear. That way I can pull my bio hair out and seamlessly blend that hairline. I know it's scary, but it'll be okay. Now I'm going to take a wide tooth comb and just pull out my bio hair to make sure that I did in fact trim enough back. It looks great, so let's go ahead and move on to the other side. Again, I'm just clipping the hair back so I can see where I need to work. Pull it down, and then we are going to grab our sharp scissors and we are just going to trim away the part that is hanging over our ear. Again, pulling my bio hair out, making sure we look good. I'm loving how this is turning out. Now that we have everything trimmed back, the knots look great, I'm going to go ahead and freshen up some of these curls. I'm starting off with Bondi Boost Heat Protectant. No matter what you do, always make sure that you are starting off with a heat protectant. Then I'm just going to go in, do some loose beachy waves, and kind of get rid of a little bit of the box hair that we have going on. so our modifications are done and I could not be more excited with this piece. And I'm so excited to show it off to my hair loss sisters in April at the beach. It is absolutely everything that I wanted. And the thing that I'm really excited about though is that the cost of human hair, quality human hair wigs has become just cumbersome. It is next to impossible to find a good quality piece that's under $2,000, if not well over $2,000. And a lot of women just cannot afford that. And when you're suffering from hair loss, all that you want is to feel confident and beautiful and secure in the piece that you're wearing. And so when you are having to shell out $2,000 plus for every piece that you get, it is just an absolute financial burden to many of us. And so I am so thrilled that Uniwigs is really stepping up their game with the quality of their pieces that they're putting forth and still keeping them at a much, much lower price point than most of the wigs that I see on the market right now. So kudos to Uniwigs for providing those options for women. I could not be more thrilled. And this honestly is going to be one of my new favorite pieces. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. The color is absolutely beautiful. So let's take a closer look now that I've done the modifications to kind of mask a couple of things that were maybe bothering me and make it a little more custom to me, okay? So all we did at the part line and along the hairline was add a little bit of concealer and powder to mask those knots. I personally do not prefer bleach knots because it's really going to impact the longevity of your human hair piece. It may look really beautiful when you first get it, but the hair is going to eventually shed a lot quicker than with unbleached knots. So I don't mind putting a little makeup on knots if it means that I'm going to get a lot more bang for my buck in the long run. And that's what we're doing here. So a little bit of makeup right here along the part line and along the hairline right there. And then the coverage was a little too much for me, which was okay. These ear tab areas are meant to be trimmed to fit what you need, right? So I'd rather have more coverage than not enough because now I can customize this hairline to make it my own. So I like to pull out my bio hair when I'm wearing my human hair wigs and my synthetic wigs actually. So I just trimmed this back to allow that to happen. So before the lace in the hair was coming well past my bio hair, so I just trimmed that back. That way I could have my own hair right here at the hairline. So that's all that I did. And then I just put some curls in to kind of get rid of a little bit of the box hair that it maybe had on its voyage to me. And it is just, you guys, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. 100% recommend checking this out. Again, this is Charlotte from Uniwigs. And I also have a discount code that you can use to save even more money on this piece. It's Christina, Kristyna 15. Use that to save 15% on any piece that you choose on the website. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Otherwise, I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Bye.